All right, so here we go. At least a little bit on the Democratic side with RFK going on Joe Rogan. I've got a few takeaways, a few comments on it. Number one, does RFK have any chance to beat Biden and become the Democratic nominee? Guys, RFK has a negative chance to beat Joe Biden. At this point in 2023, if you want to be the Democratic nominee, you got to be all in. That's why we see Joe Biden, who's like an 82-year-old white man, at all these events saying, I'm pro this, I'm pro that. It's all clownish, it's all an act. So there's no way someone like RFK Jr. would ever be the Democratic nominee this day and age in 2023. You've got to be all in. Think about it. Think about what they did to Bernie Sanders, who's known as a socialist. He wasn't all in on everything they wanted to push, so they said, everyone drop out. We'll rig it for Biden. That's what happened. And the only thing that I hope, and it just, to me, the reason it sucks so much, with RFK Jr. and the voice thing, you can get used to listening to it, but one of the big bargaining chips any competitor will have over Biden this day and age is the fact that Biden is just a complete corpse. That's what he is in 2023. That's what he's going to be in 2024. That's why I think DeSantis would trounce Biden just based off of principle alone. You would have independent people watching a Biden versus DeSantis debate and saying, one of these guys, like we all know, we can look at Joe Biden and be like, okay, he's really not doing anything here. He can barely complete a sentence, right? So who's really running things within the Democratic Party? I think a lot of independent people are turned off by Biden. The issue is if it is Trump versus Biden, the Democrats can say, Trump is like 2 years younger than him. They're both old. They can use that excuse. We all know Trump, has aged a lot better than Biden. At least he can formulate opinions and do things, but they would at least, they would be able to use kind of that argument to where, oh, but Trump's almost Biden's age. They're both really old. They wouldn't be able to do that with DeSantis. But when it comes to RFK Jr., once you listen to the voice for a little bit, you get used to it. It's not a big deal. I'm sure the establishment Democrats will make a big deal about it. They'll push that he's anti-vax, anti-all of this. But it was a very intriguing episode with Rogan. This is a situation where I don't think RFK Jr. has any chance because you have to fully embrace it with these people. And according to them, he's said some things to where it's like the right seems to be embracing him. It's a situation where RFK Jr. is kind of liked on the right, and obviously the left is going to react to that extremely negatively. And I don't see him getting much more than 20% unless it's an open primary where you have Republicans voting for him. Either way, Biden is going to be the nominee, I'm sure. And if it's not Biden, it certainly is not going to be RFK Jr. That's my opinion on that. And then we do have this as well off of Rogan. Cameron Hanes asks Rogan if he would have on Tucker Carlson. And if you guys watch this clip, Rogan was very coy. Seems like Tucker Carlson has a real big contract dispute right now with Fox News that is currently inhibiting him from appearing on other people's podcasts. I'm sure Rogan, right after Carlson had the breakup with Fox News, immediately asked Tucker and said, look, you're going to launch your Twitter thing. Come on here. It's going to be huge. We'll get it going. And Carlson probably said, yeah, I actually can't. We've got this non-compete going. There's a rumor going around that Fox News is trying to shut down Carlson's Twitter show as well. I don't understand. That stuff is so stupid, man. Those news organizations, all of them are horrible. How does Fox News get to fire Tucker Carlson and then say, oh, you still can't do other things? You fired him. I understand there's contracts, and it's probably like he signed a contract where he can't do news anywhere else over a certain period. Even if they terminate him, he still can't do news. But those contracts are so just anti-employee. It's just terrible. But I do think that Trump will be on at some point. My original speculation with Rogan was that he thought maybe he could influence the election if he had Trump on, because Trump will end up looking better when you go on those long-form podcasts. No matter who you are, if you're mega famous, you will immediately become more relatable when you have long-form discussion. Rogan knows that. He has the self-awareness to realize it. And I think Rogan was kind of a little bit like, I don't want to be, blamed for electing Trump, which is just ridiculous. And I think you shouldn't worry about that. Who gives a shit what people think? I mean, the idea that you can't platform him is so ridiculous. I do think Rogan's going to get over it and he'll have Trump on at some point, but it doesn't look like it's coming necessarily soon. Certainly what we would love to see is 2 separate podcasts in 2024. One of them with whoever the Republican nominee is, and then the other one with the Democratic nominee. Of course, we won't get that because Biden and his team will never agree to it. Biden cannot formulate 2 sentences together without stumbling over his words at this point. So that's not going to happen. But that is the situation right now. I do think Trump's going to be on. I think RFK Jr. going on. Very, very smart for his campaign. And then we've got this. Jake Tapper, CNN guest, say that Facebook should ramp up censorship ahead of 2024 election. Is that so? Jake, I've got a sad thing to report to you, Jake. It's so sad, I know, but I have to tell you something. Elon Musk controls Twitter, so if Facebook wants to censor, it doesn't matter. It's already free on Twitter. That's the great thing about Elon Musk. They can't censor. Go ahead, let Zuckerberg censor on Facebook. It won't matter. Everyone's just going to be driven to Twitter if Facebook censors themselves. So Jake Tapper, yes, I agree. Let's let Facebook censor everything. Everyone's already on Twitter anyways because Musk opened it up. These people are never going to learn. This is exactly why it's so important for Musk to, take control of Twitter and really open up the free speech on there. Of course, the advertisers don't like it. I love where we're at in America to where all of these corporations are so controlled and so anti-free speech. Elon Musk opens up free speech on Twitter and the advertisers say, no, we want off of your platform, right? It's just so sad. And then we've got the ESG ratings. Oh my God. So I'm sure everyone knows about ESG. It's kind of the big thing with all of the different, social programs and the virtue signaling going on. Well, the recent big thing that came out of ESG is everyone gets an ESG score, and part of your score is environmental. And apparently they've got tobacco and cigarette companies scoring better than Tesla, and you wonder why that is. That doesn't make any sense. Well, of course it makes complete sense. Tesla is ran by Elon Musk. Elon did something that's a big no-no. Elon opened up Twitter and believes in free. That's a big no. You can't do that. So we're going to punish you. And Tesla, the electric car company, scoring lower for environmental than cigarette and tobacco companies. Amazing. It is a total sham. ESG is all about control. When it was created in 2004, I get what they were trying to do. We want to let people invest in ethical things. It's been completely hijacked, and now it is, in fact, all about, oh, you've got to believe in this, and this. Otherwise, daddy ESG is not going to give you a high score, and nobody's going to invest into your company. Oh, yeah. That's what's going on with ESG right now. The lower the ESG score, the better at this point with them. That is pathetic what they're doing. And then we do have this. I thought this was pretty cool. Just looking at this, it really is meaningless. I mean, who really cares at this point? It's got Trump at 42%, Biden at 39%. You can see all the little data points, though. That is a pretty cool, summary of what's going on between those two. If it is Trump versus Biden, I just wanted to share that. But just to summarize, unfortunately for RFK Jr., it's just not going to happen. There's no way. They're not going to have any debates. I would love it. I would pay money to watch Biden debate. But the other big thing with RFK Jr. is The Voice, because, there's a lot of very casual people out there. The minute they hear his voice, they'll be like, oh, he's just as old as Biden. It doesn't matter. One of the big advantages you have over Biden theoretically as a candidate is being younger, being more energetic, things like that. RFK Jr., we can tell with him at this point, when you actually listen to him, he is, in terms of his function, a lot better than Biden, but The Voice is going to be a negative, at least with kind of all the casual people. And that's why I really don't think he has a chance when it comes to beating Biden. They said they're not even going to have primaries. If you've paid attention to how these parties operate, that should not surprise anyone. Biden is the incumbent. They're just going to kind of treat it as normal, even though it's not normal. Biden can barely speak, but either way, that's just kind of the situation. I don't see him doing anything, but I do think Democrats, if it gets bad enough, they will employ different tactics. There'll be smear campaigns. It'll be the whole anti-vax thing. Republicans like him, so don't vote for him. They'll get all of that in, and he'll have no chance against Biden, in my opinion, at least when it comes to the Democratic Party. But guys, that's going to do it for this video. Make sure you're following me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description.